Hello. I want to make a video explaining about birds and their psychology. Birds fly, as everyone knows, every child knows that. And they need to fly a lot. They need to roam. They need to span a large radius of territory. They need to go everywhere they want to go. They go into trees, Birds and trees live in a very symbiotic relationship. The trees love it when the birds land in their branches, that tickle them a little bit. That, believe it or not, but that makes a tree happy and makes a tree grow more and get more circulated. It's true. And the birds, they love the trees. The trees are their homes. Okay, so a long time ago, when we had our albino Kenny, albino Great Dane, we went hiking with two older ladies, and they had their dogs with them, and one of them had her cockatoo parrot, Lucy, and his wings were trimmed because she didn't know how to otherwise to handle him, but at least he wasn't in a cage. He was going places with her on her shoulder. And we were hiking and hiking. Lucy was chatting a little bit and talking and saying nice things into Connie's ears. And as soon as we got into the forested area, he started to flap his wings, and he said, Lucy, Lucy, something like, Lucy going home, wants to go home, something like this. The forest is his home. And, some people, they think a parrot, the word parroting, they think it's just like a tape recorder or something. They hear a certain sound, frequency, or sequence of different sounds, and then they just imitate it just for the fun of it. But that is absolutely not true. They learn things in context, and they learn language. They're very good with language. They learn language in context, and they speak, not exactly in the same way we speak with our jaw and our lips. They speak with, there's some kind of, I don't know how they exactly form these sounds, but they are able to form sounds in their throat, I think. So, and they sort of whistle them out, and they can make the most amazing sounds and imitate the most amazing sounds. So, and they learn language in context. So when he got into the forest, he just kept repeating, Lucy is going home. And this is just so, this is metaphysical. Because when we were in that forest, hiking through the forest, I don't know, for about 20 minutes or 30 minutes, hiking through that forested area in the bird sanctuary. That's that entire wetland area is a bird sanctuary, spanning hundred thousands of acres. Very lovely area. And we helped the local environmental stewardship group a long time ago, and we got them a grant, and it was good work that we did, Paul and I, really good work. So when we walked through that forest, and I had my eyes on Lucy, white like Kenny, and he was so excited, and it was so deeply touching, because I knew his wings were trimmed. He would have loved to fly up into these real tall trees, some of them redwood trees and spruce and Christmas trees, and he would have loved to go high up into the canopy of the trees and whip with the wind in the branches and flapping his wings and feeling free and happy. And it was so touching to me the way he kept on saying, Lucy is going home, and Lucy is excited, and those kind of things that he was saying, actually, in context. And so that's when I got to know that I got to see it firsthand, how intelligent and how sentient and how loving and how freedom-loving birds are. There are many different types of birds, of course. Not all of them have the same brain or the same intelligence. But parrots and cockatoos, macaws, they're highly intelligent. Jays, stellar jays, I watch them here on the balcony. They're very intelligent. They need to be free. We feed the birds, the wild birds, they come and they eat, and the way they interact with each other, they have humor, they do dances in the sky, they just love flowers and trees and sunflower seeds, and they love the interaction, they love all that chattering in the trees of other birds, and it's very stimulating. It's like music to them, and they need to be free, okay? This is very, very important. All birds must be free. This is very, very important. Last night I was watching Heidi Fleiss' videos on YouTube, and I was crying non-stop about the stories of the birds who she has rescued over the years. And there was one female macaw who, before she had rescued her, who was living in someone's basement in darkness, without sunlight, without anything, all by herself for 45 years. And the cruelty of that, the cruel situation of that, is unimaginably depressing and heartbreaking, and it just makes me cry and cry and cry. And she had plucked her feathers. When birds pluck their feathers, they are suffering, They may still be talking to people and try to interact and all of this, and people don't know what's wrong with them. They take them to a psychiatrist. Psychiatrists or veterinarians give them Prozac. I've seen it all. As if that's going to help the situation. The same as humans, Psychiatrists are clueless about this. So, obviously, when a living being shows signs of deep stress, feather plucking is that sign in birds. They are not happy. They are suffering. They are miserable. They feel caged. They feel lonely. They need to fly, to create serotonin. They need to fly long distances, in circles and in roaming ranges, to be happy, to feel this literal bird freeness. Very important. Whales have to roam also on high speed for many, many miles. What do humans do? They put them in small pools, in aquariums. This is cruel, okay? And then the same with humans. Humans cage themselves because of their mental illness and because of their the only coping mechanisms that they know is, for example, someone who had been traumatized will withdraw from others. That's kind of like what my situation is all about. I mean, now we have the pandemic, we do social distancing. Okay, of course it has to be done, but I already did this for 10 years because I don't have any friends. I have one friend on the internet, an animal rights activist. Her name is Sandy, and she lives in France. My only friend. Before that, I met some animal rights activists. I was friends with them for a while, but the contact got lost. Usually when I met someone nice, I chatted with them for a while, and then they moved on, or I don't know, canceled their accounts or moved away or did other things. Most of the time a contact on the internet gets lost over time. Not with Sandy. Sandy thinks about me and I think about her, and that is infinitely touching to me. Okay, and I have Paul as my best friend. Paul is my only in-person human friend, okay, and my best friend, of course. He stuck with me through the hardest phases of my life, and so I deeply appreciate that. Those are the real friends, the friends who really care, the friends who don't care how you look. And we have to give that friendship and that love to the birds too, and to the whales and the dogs and all living beings. Okay, we have to give them that true love. And birds have to be free. All animals have to be free, like particularly whales and birds and wild cats. Those are animals who need to roam wide radius of space. Okay, and maybe some people, if someone is very rich, they can buy themselves, I don't know, 100,000 acres and have that fenced and have that guarded, patrolled, and then put animals on that land, and then they feel free. Okay, but most people don't have money, and I see with horror that a lot of people, or maybe most people even, have birds in cages, or even dogs locked up in kennels or chained on the porch, and it's heartbreaking for me to see this. Absolutely horrific. And when I see it, I say something. I have to say something. And I ask other people to say something to these people, to speak out and tell them, take your poor dog off that chain. Take that chain off, and bring your dog in the house, Let your bird out, or create a huge aviary, that spans, I don't know, most people can't afford it, that spans 100,000 square feet of level land or something, and be there for them, but also have one window open so that they can also roam. The way Heidi has her birds is ideal, They are free, and what she said is absolutely true. She said 1 year of freedom for a bird is, even if they get electrocuted, which happened to one of her birds, got electrocuted on the power line, but even 1 year of freedom, and then, going over the Rainbow Bridge is still better than 100 years in a cage. Okay, and this is the absolute truth. You guys take care. Bye bye.